we get an opportunity to meet a member of this year's Bucknell Athletics Hall of Fame class of 2018. That is Noel Powell, the class of 2004, but brand new Athletics Hall of Fame inductee. Congratulations, Noel. What a tremendous honor for you.
I do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You know, you played football a little bit, but you focused on track and field. How come you wanted to focus on track and field?
It became natural to me. I mean, unfortunately, to say I'm from Jamaica as well, so running has always been the thing that I've done the best, and I figured push forward with that and see if I can continue that as much as possible, and then it was very successful, so it was a good choice on my part.
It was a very good choice. 6 championships, 6 gold medals in your tenure, and 3 straight NCAA regional appearances. Looking back on that, was there any particular gold medal that you won, any particular race or any particular event you won that you look back on and say, wow, that was pretty special?
I always going to say probably my sophomore year. So I think it's the year I went 4 golds at our Patriot League championship. And it was kind of a blur to me. I think that's about the year that my grandmother passed away that year. So it was kind of like a motivation to kind of push forward as hard as I could, and I think that's the year that I think I focused on the most, about competing as hard as I could, and kind of was more almost for her kind of thing. So I think that was the year that I can remember the most.
You competed in jumps, but also in the 100 and 200. Did you have a preference? Did you enjoy one over the other?
I would probably say the 200 and the long jump are probably my 2 favorite races. I was never the best at starts, so the 200 gave me at least a half of the race to kind of come back. Long jump was definitely more fun for me in the sense of it was an individual event, but it was an ability to me to run as fast as I could and to kind of get out there as much as I could. It's fun to watch. I can look back on some tapes and see kind of how I jumped, but it was definitely one of the more enjoyable parts of my track career was doing the long jump.
When you went there, whatever race or jump that you participated in, did you have the feeling, I'm going to win that? Did you have that confidence almost every time out?
It was more in my head. I'm more of an action speaker than actually verbal out loud, but I knew that if I gave my best shot that day, that I was possibly coming out with a gold that day, yes.
Did you get the sensation that those folks that you also competed against felt the same way?
Some points, yes and no. Sometimes I got some looks. I try to kind of stick to myself a lot when it comes to like warming up and getting ready for those events. But I knew any given day somebody else could possibly beat me, but I wanted to put it out there that I got this one today. So, and I think sometimes they notice that as well.
No doubt. You mentioned about your grandmother and how close you were to her. I'm sure she was a huge influence in your life. Anybody else influence you, either in your family or outside that, track and field or outside track and field?
I think my family as a whole were always very supportive of me. So they always knew, and they knew that I pushed my best, and they knew they were always there to support me, driving the miles and cheering and screaming for me. So that's what I needed, and I think they knew that, so they kind of focused on strictly that, making sure that I was supported in that fashion, yeah.
I hate to say this, but you'd probably know it. Usain Bolt. Was he coming up about the same time you were? He's a little older than you, I guess, but did you learn anything from that? Was he an inspiration?
I think the fact that he was extremely tall, and for me being a 6'3" athlete running track and field, most people around my height you didn't see very many of us around. So I think just how he kind of came out of the blocks and how he kind of focused on using his strides, and my coach definitely said, once you open your strides out, you'll be good, and that definitely worked out to my benefit, yes.
You went 3 straight years to the NCAA regionals. Winning Patriot League titles is great. Competing with other people nationally, how much did that help your confidence and maybe help you feel like, hey, I belong?
It felt good. Being able to be there and actually experience that. Some of those things were pretty intense. Watching athletes around my same age competing in such an intense environment, it was overwhelming at some time, but very powerful in the sense of I can actually do that, and I can actually get there. So yes, it was amazing to get that far, yes.
For those folks who may not know, what are you doing right now?
I actually work in insurance. I work at ADP, Automatic Data Processing. I work in workers' compensation division I work in. So small business sales. I kind of call people on the phone who actually ask for my services, and I kind of get them set up on insurances they need for their businesses.
And where do you live?
I live out in the Allentown area right now, so I kind of spend most of my time out that direction. So that's where I reside at the moment, yes.
Obviously, you came back on campus for the induction ceremony. Mm-hmm. Was that the first time you had been on campus in a while?
I came back after my 5-year reunion, and I came here, and it's been about 8-9 years since I've been back here since. It's nostalgic in itself, but it's kind of crazy to see how many new things are here since the last time I left, and it's pretty amazing how it's continued to grow like it is.
It has. It has definitely grown, and I tell you what, you're a big part of it. Congratulations, Noel. What a great honor and well-deserved.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Noel Powell.